It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Tennessee Titans, and it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 23.
Just off the east bank of the Cumberland River and across the water from the Tennessee State Capitol building, there's a look at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Dallas Cowboys and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Greg Zuerlein now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And off we go from Nashville. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. And they'll be let out by their quarterback now in his third season in the league.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100 plus the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. McNair to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw, McNair. Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Now McNair. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw, and in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. McNair. And a loose football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Let's face it, everybody at the start of a game has a mental image of how they expect it to go, and I think that was going exactly as they scripted it offensively. Moving the ball well, seemingly in control, and that fumble, that's got to be a little bit deflating, don't you think?
Yeah, foiled the whole plan there, turned the ball over. So out come the Cowboys under head coach Mike McCarthy. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
I tell you what, when he's on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They begin with a run by Smith. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They keep it with Smith on first down, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Smith. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
He finds his man, complete. It's Owens. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now Aikman on first down. And Walker has it. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
Let's go, fellas. Here we go. Let's go, y'all.
first down. Here's Aikman. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Looking to throw again here, Aikman. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. Only a yard on the completion. It's second and goal.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. To throw is Aikman. Touchdown, Cowboys! A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Zuerlein good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Here's McNair. Crossing route catch made by Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now McNair off the play fake. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 24 yards the gain there, another first down as well.
And that's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Out of the gun, it's McNair. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Henry up the middle. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down. Now McNair. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. On first down, it's McNair. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful of no-home throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. Back to throw. McNair. And it's a Titans touchdown from 10 yards out. And the Titans are an extra point away from drawing level.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, but when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
They'll throw on first down with Aikman. His throw incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Aikman will throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense, and they were there to help force the incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They begin with Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun. McNair, complete. It's Johnson. So the completion good for 7 there. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up 1st downs.
Show 'em what you got.
On 1st and 10, McNair. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Looking to throw. McNair. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
From the gun, here's McNair.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. A toss right to Henry. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Again, it's Henry. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They got to get to the 23 here on third. Back to throw. McNair going deep for Walker. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. A great play there. 31 yards. And the Titans have taken the lead. Well, he's regarded as one of the best athletes among NFL tight ends, Charles, and it certainly was on display right there.
And as we've seen this league continue to grow and develop, I think the tight end position is becoming harder and harder to defend because now it's elite athletes playing that position, not just the big guys who can block. How about his ability to get downfield and make plays against any defense?
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it ends with a Tennessee score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They go play action with Aikman. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Aikman. They'll set up the screen to Smith. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
You want to see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset? This is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Aikman looking to throw. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Started the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They go play action now. Aikman. He finds his man complete. That's Owens. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Here's Aikman setting to throw it. He finds his man, complete. That's Owens.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Possibly a good spot here to take a shot as they come out with 3 receivers to the left on second and less than a yard. Now it's Aikman. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
Yeah, the Cowboys are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
Smith trying to run for it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run.
And the Cowboys are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here.
Right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to seeing all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all, but right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction?
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd learned to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
On now is the Titans punter. as he'll come on to kick this one away. He'll send this up into the Nashville skyline, and it's a good one. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Looking to pass. Aikman on 1st down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Aikman operating from the gun. This little short throw to Witten. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now back to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Pearson. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now Aikman to throw on 2nd down. This little short throw to Witten. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 36. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
That's a pretty good throw. 3rd down, and they pick up a 1st.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Aikman going to throw again. This little short throw to Witten.
And they'll work this down inside the 30. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Inside handoff, Smith. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On second down, here's Smith again. Flash those fast feet, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line as he can't get any closer to the end zone. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
From the shotgun, Aikman toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
4th down, Cowboy kicker Greg Zuerlein comes on. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and they take a 17-14 lead. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the made field goal, Zuerlein back out there now to send this one away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. The Titans set and ready to go on offense. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
A 1st down carry for Henry. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. To throw, McNair. And Walker with it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He got a touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. We're going to be big time, boys. What's the deal, dog? Show them what you got.
Off the option, here's Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want. And other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
McNair to throw. Flush to his right. It's complete. This is Derrick Henry. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 33. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. McNair. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. On 1st and 10, it's Aikman. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Aikman. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Again, it's Aikman. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he will have a Cowboys 1st down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you could actually be pushed back before the 1st down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the 1st down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. First down, here's Aikman. He finds his man, complete. That's Owens.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, it's Aikman. Touchdown! A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And they're able to add on to their advantage.
What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns, I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls at work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. So that one a disaster, a big loss there with second down coming up.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now McNair. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Everybody ready to roll? Come on, this is your game, baby. Give us some. Give us some. What's the deal?
There, the Cowboys here on third down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Here's McNair. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Let's rock and roll. Get him going, baby.
On now is the Titans punter, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He'll look to set up his blockers. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and out will come the offense as they take over.
The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
Let's rock. Got you, baby. Let's do it. It's one play at a time, baby.
They'll throw on first down with Aikman.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Aikman will throw.
Looking left side, and it's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing. I got you, baby.
So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. He hit his first, now this from 43. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. He had to force the field goal.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Let's focus in on what we got to do here.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
That's what it is. That's what it is, baby. Let's go. Let's go right here. That's right, baby, please.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. A final shot before break. McNair. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios and this EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Cowboys. And our statisticians got through a couple of pencils already. This offense is on pace for potentially 500 yards in passing. That's pretty incredible.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this 3rd quarter. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well. And most importantly, partner,
Yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Second half begins with a run by Smith, and he'll power his way up near the 25.
41 yards on the ground for him so far.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
On second down, here's Aikman. This little short throw to Witten. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. 76 yards.
And the Cowboys come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. And around the goal line, especially on two-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
Out of the end zone comes Johnson.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. On first down, it's McNair. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And just a yard to go here on second down.
Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the...
And he lost the football. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Now Aikman. And he wisely will throw that one away.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit if they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Aikman looking to throw. Touchdown, Cowboys! A great play there. 33 yards. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Zerline now for the PAT. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
Out of the end zone comes Johnson.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
On 2nd down, McNair. And he comes back with one complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Now McNair. And this is going to be incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
On now is the Titans punter as he's on to kick it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that because so many times you go into the half after playing well and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Aikman setting to throw it. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Aikman. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw again here, Aikman. Forced out to his left. And he'll just get rid of it. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Now McNair looking for a first down throw.
And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
2nd and 10.
To throw again, McNair. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he will have a Titans first down, and he was able to get it by play. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Play action, it's McNair. And his throw is incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
From the gun, here's McNair.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On now is the Titans punter, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And now here come the Cowboys. They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. I don't know, they're just looking good hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means a head coach who really has a finger on the pulse of a team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches,
up a little bit.
Just back it off a little bit. This team has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84. And on the board, Michael Jordan had written, "Coach, after all we've been through, there's no way we're losing tonight." He didn't even give a pregame speech.
Wow, interesting. Well, right now, no speech is needed. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground, and here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did, but poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Smith up the middle, and not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now Aikman to throw on 2nd down, and this one complete to Winton over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Looking to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that is incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
On 2nd down, Aikman. And this is caught by Winton, the tight end. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 26. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
You ready to roll? Leave it all out here.
From the gun, it's Walker. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Aikman. And on the left side, he's got Winton. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, Aikman. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Oh, yeah, good job, man. We got him.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll set up to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. They'll go option on 2nd down, right side. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Their mobile quarterback keeping it himself from 8 yards out. And the Cowboys get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they've built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent, and they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Zerline good with a PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw, McNair. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Could they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A gain of 32 that time.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. Now McNair. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. A handoff, running left, Henry. And he will score! Touchdown, Titans! Derrick Henry taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Titans are able to at least get 1 score back. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Still comfortably on top, 3rd quarter, as they start things here with a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. Second 10 coming up here in Nashville. 3rd quarter action. Aikman will throw. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
On 3rd down, Aikman. Throw left side complete. That's Owens. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They go play action now. Aikman. Looking deep downfield. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good.
Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
On third down, here's Walker. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up fourth down.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Titans now just about ready to take over. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Now McNair off the play fake. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And certainly looked his way in this third quarter. Another catch, and it's good for a first down. Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. McNair to throw. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up second down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
McNair. Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's first and 10 at the 37-yard line. Out of the gun, it's McNair. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. So here's a first and 10 at the 38. A handoff to Smith.
And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 57 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
A first down carry for Smith. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Their mobile, agile quarterback with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter.
And the Cowboys have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. So definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown pass as they're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, 4th quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25.
And the Titans getting set to go.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A big play that time for the Titans. 54 yards. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Henry will score. Touchdown, Tennessee. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
They begin with a run by Smith. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On second down, it's Walker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 41 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Here's a give to Smith, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
On second down, here's Smith again.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The offense on third down tonight, they're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 30. His huge night, it just continues as he's now north of 200 yards receiving.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run it now with Smith. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. Well, that's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on first down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got 3rd and short.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Aikman operating from the gun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the shotgun, they run with Smith. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On 2nd down, here's Aikman. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. Touchdown! From 8 yards out. And the Cowboys have taken a 5-touchdown lead. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
But that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11. Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Here's McNair. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 15-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on because right now he has got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. From 3 yards out. And the Titans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
53 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner, 100 yards or more in a game.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy 1st down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They go back to the ground with Smith. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach that I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
The
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.